Now, whilst some people are unhappy with the date Premier Anna Bligh has chosen for Queensland's election, it may favour federal independent MP Bob Katter.
Katter's Australian Party is contesting the election for the first time, and the March date could give them enough time to grow their supporter base. Bob Katter is the founder of Katter's Australia Party. He joins us now on the phone from Mount Isa. Thank you for your time this morning, Mr Katter. Does it suit you to have a longer campaign?
Very much so. We've only had 3 months. We've got to get, a party together to win the government of Queensland and to run the state of Queensland. That is not an easy task in 3 months, I can tell you.
Well, tell me, how difficult will it be to win seats?
Well, we had a very close look at Pauline Hanson for 3 months. She was on 5%. And as the election got closer, for reasons that are not entirely clear to us, she lifted through to 18%, I think, a week before the election, and then got 23% in the election. And so we think that when people start really to think about who they're going to vote for, they'll be. But look, it's Australia Day, and I mean, I just get so depressed when I pick up a newspaper and find out that Toyota, are planning to cut back, and I mean, all of the motor car industries are saying that they're going. That's really what they're saying. And the aluminium industry said, we can't pay these electricity charges because aluminium is electricity, and we can't pay this, we're going. I mean, everything's going. I mean, the only thing you've got left is a quarry. We quarry iron ore and we quarry coal. We don't mine. Mine's when you process metal. We don't do that. And within 4 years, we'll be a net importer of food. Now, everybody knows that we go into that seat and immediately that changes. We will introduce ethanol within a split second of taking government in Queensland. Now, automatically, suddenly sugar's right, grain's right, and we're going to get cheaper petrol. Cattle right, and we're going to get cheaper petrol. I mean, that's going to happen. We're going to build that transmission line to get all those mines in northwest Queensland operating. And those two things are going to bring 12, 13, 14,000 million. Now, why aren't they doing it? Because they believe in the free market. They don't believe that governments anymore should build any developmental type asset. In fact, they say they should sell off all the government assets. Now, these are propositions no one in Queensland believes in, and yet these people continuously get there because up to date they haven't had any real alternative.
Mr Katter,
we're giving them a real alternative.
The One Nation Party seemed to get so many votes when at a time when voters were maybe disenfranchised by both leading political parties. Do you feel like that's the same environment that you're in now, and if so, which parties are you looking to take votes from? We have a question we ask, and I've asked it over 1,000 times in the last 3 weeks, whether it's at a meeting or whether it's in a group of people. I say, if you vote LNP, what will change? And it's a challenge. There are only 2 people, and it's to that question. And one of them was, it'll improve the environment, attitudes. And I said, for how long? He said, 2 years. I said, you're right. I mean, it's only attitudes. What he's actually saying, nothing will change. That's all. Nothing will change. Now, I mean, if you can't get change in Australia by changing governments. We already know that. The only way you can do it is to change what governments do when they get in there. And, of course, I think everyone has a very clear picture as to what will be happening if we get in there. And there are differences, between ourselves, very substantial differences in the media perspective that I had on One Nation. I mean, obviously we're a party that unashamedly represents and is representative of the first Australians. I mean, I think 4 of our candidates and a couple of wives of other candidates fit into that category. They see it as their party, and quite rightly, it's one of our 8 policies. Mr Katter, we are short on time.
And also a very close relationship with the trade union movement. We're very, very strong for collective bargaining and always have been for farmers and for employees.
I'm sorry to cut you off there. We've just got time for one more question. I wonder
how significant the result in Queensland will be on the following federal election?
Well, I mean, obviously, if we are successful and we will be taking federal seats, there will be no question about that. And in the state of the feds too, there are other issues. There are a lot of very disgruntled people there that, would feel very much more comfortable. but we won't go into that. And no, we're just saying that if we do here, that builds us the base for going into the federal arena. And one of the things about going into the federal arena, if you've got a person like Kevin Rudd up front, we suit him fine, because we will allow him to do things that he won't be able to do otherwise. These blokes, Swan and Rudd, are out of developmental state. They were brought up in the Joe Peterson era, even though they might hate him. They know the great things that he did. They're very conscious of it, and they want to do those same things. And that's one of the reasons where we'll have power well beyond, and of course, things like the boat people, we would be very, very strongly opposed to the boat people coming to Australia.
Thank you, Mr. Katter. We appreciate your time, which we've run out of.
God bless all the listeners.
Bob Katter there in Mount Isa.
Absolutely, and his son is standing for a seat in Mount Isa in that state election as well, so the Katter dynasty may well continue. But we should move on now, of course. Yeah.